Okay, so guys, let me share something interesting. Back in the Philippines, when we play basketball just for fun, usually nobody really takes it seriously. Players just laugh and play casually. There's no pressure at all. But once there is something to win, even just a small money bet for each team, players suddenly play more seriously. Like the intensity changes. Like people defend harder, they focus more on the game. Basically, the competition becomes more real. And to be honest, when I first started playing Play-to-Earn MMOs, my mindset was very simple, like grind, get token, sell, then earn. That was it. But the more I studied different systems, like in our previous video, ROM on RUBYx and ROM on Cross, I realized something very important. Like even if two MMOs both say Play-to-Earn MMO, their structures can be completely different. So I think nowadays the real risk is not just the token price going down. The real risk is entering a competitive system we don't yet fully understand. So today, let's practice studying Rohan 2 Rohanomics, especially now that the America server merge is happening tomorrow, February 25. Okay, so let's start with the most important part of Rohanomics, which is RUBY. So in Rohan 2, when you actually play the game, you don't earn RUBY immediately, you earn CRON first. So when you grind mobs, do dungeons, or farm content, you get CRON. So this is just like gold in the game. Then inside the game, you can exchange CRON for RUBY, and if you need CRON again, you can exchange RUBY back. So CRON is what you use while playing, and RUBY is where the value starts to matter. Now here's where it becomes play to earn. If you have RUBY, you can convert it to RUBYx. Then RUBYx can be converted into Cross, and Cross can be exchanged to real money outside the game. And of course, it works the other way too. Like if someone buys Cross from outside, they can convert it into RUBY and bring it into the game. So the flow is actually simple, like play and then earn CRON and then convert to RUBY and then convert to Cross and then sell. Or vice versa, buy Cross and then convert to RUBY and then use it inside the game. That's basically how the system moves, and to be honest, I actually like the simplicity of this kind of system. But guys, if you look at this carefully, I know you will agree on me on this one, especially if you played a lot of classic MMOs before. This is actually not something completely new. In classic MMOs, we already had something similar, right? Like you farm gold and then you sell that gold to other players. Basically before, whales buy it directly from farmers. So again guys, that kind of value transfer already existed before. The only difference is back then, if players wanted to convert their grind into real money, it usually happened outside the game through risky trades or sometimes through meetups, which felt safer for players. And most of the times RMT was against the rules of the game because the buying and selling usually happen in the black market, like it's outside the game. And because it happened outside the system, the company didn't really benefit from this trading activity of the players. Obviously, it was purely player to player. But here in Rohan 2, they formalize it. They added structured layers. So right now, when players convert or trade or exchange values, it goes through the system. And part of the activity flows back into the ecosystem, not just the players. And that's actually an interesting balance. Now, based on what we observe in other play-to-earn MMO system, especially older models like ROM on RUBYx, we've seen how unlimited minting can create pressure over time. Like when farming keeps producing more tokens but demand inside the game doesn't grow at the same speed, it becomes very difficult to sustain value. We saw that already. However, when ROM moved to Cross, they adjusted the structure. They introduced controlled supply and limited emission. But anyway guys, this is not about saying one game is bad and another is good. It's about understanding how this system evolved. And when I started seeing these differences, it helped me see the bigger picture. Because now I'm really practicing myself not just to look at gameplay. I started looking also at the economic part of the game, especially that these are play-to-earn MMOs. I really want to become that kind of player who can look at MMOs tokenomics and immediately understand, is this structure risky? Is it sustainable? sustainable long term? Is it worth committing serious time into? So not to predict the future, but at least to understand the level of risk before entering and investing. But anyway guys, in the case of Rohan 2, RUBY has actually fixed total supply of 1 billion, and here no unlimited minting. So structurally that removes one common major risk that we see, which is the uncontrolled inflation. But still guys, fixed supply alone doesn't automatically mean the system is safe. Now let's zoom out and look at the full Rohanomics architecture. When players trade using RUBY in the exchange or market, there's a 10% selling fee, and that portion goes into something called the RUBY vault. And that RUBY doesn't disappear guys, it goes back into the game through events and rewards. So instead of creating new tokens, like adding new supply of RUBY in the game reuses what already exists. And remember guys, there will never be more than 1 billion RUBY in total. The total number is fixed, but on early days not all of it will be released at once. It will be distributed gradually. And I also noticed something inside the game, like the amount of RUBY released each week can change depending on the average market price. So if the price is lower, for sure the system can slow down the distribution. If the price is stronger, it can adjust, but the total supply will never go above 1 billion. And also guys, inside the game, RUBY will not go below $0.02. Basically there's a minimum price floor, so even if the external market drops very low, inside the game there is protection. So somehow this MMO has this controlled competition system. Okay, so guys, now on the earning side, I want you to look at this carefully. So after players sell items in the exchange, 10% will go to the vault, and then 90% will be obviously on them, and also they receive sRUBY. And if they want to use it inside the game, they can keep it, but if they want to cash out, there's a way. So here players receive sRUBY, then in the cross ramp players can convert the sRUBY into RUBYx, and then after that RUBYx can be exchanged for cross, and cross can be converted into real money through an external exchange. But here's the important part guys that I noticed. When converting sRUBY into RUBYx, I noticed that there's a 50% fee, meaning if you convert 100 sRUBY, you only receive 50 RUBYx. That means exiting the system is actually not cheap. And there's also a reverse direction. If someone has RUBYx from outside, they can convert it back into sRUBY and bring value into the game. So in short, value can go out and value can come in, but leaving or exiting the game for good costs more. So that's actually a strong control mechanism. So after looking at the full Rohanomics system, we can see this is not unlimited farming, it is limited supply, it has trading fees, it has a 50% exit fee, it has a minimum price inside the game, and now with the server merge, for sure there will be more players, but the total supply stays the same. That means competition becomes stronger, because in modern play to earn, it's not really free to earn anymore. It's closer to pay to compete and earn. Like you invest first to become stronger, you invest first to climb the rankings, and usually rewards are concentrated at the top players who are investing in the game. So the question is not anymore about can you farm. The real question is, can you compete in this structure? Because again, understanding the structure is already half the game. Okay, so now that you know how Rohan 2's economy works, you can decide for yourself if you want to compete seriously in this game after the server merge. Alright, so guys, that's it for today. And if you want guys, next time we can observe how this actually plays out in practice. So again, I just need to level up more. But anyway guys, as always, whatever you guys are playing there, play smart and happy gaming. Alright.